your tickets tonight are going to the Trevor Project, which is a foundation we strongly believe in here at Slipstream. And so a little bit of your laughter is also going to a very good cause tonight. Just so you know, there is no intermission, once again. And at some point during the evening, you will be asked to move to a different room. It'll be pretty apparent when that happens. So anyway, thanks for coming out, and enjoy the show.
Didn't think it polite to listen, sir.
Oh, well, I am sorry for that, for your sake. I don't play accurately now. Anyone can play accurately, but I play with wonderful expression.
Is that what they call it?
Got the cucumber sandwiches cut for Lady Bracknell.
Yes, sir.
My wait, Lane. I see that from your book on Thursday night, 8 bottles of champagne and enters haven't been consumed.
Yes, sir. 8 bottles and a pint.
Why is it, Lane, that at a bachelor's establishment, the servants invariably drink the champagne? I ask, merely for information.
Well, sir, I attribute it to the superior quality of the wine. The St. Julian's. I have often observed that in married households, the champagne is rarely of a first-rate brand.
Good heavens. Marriage so demoralizing, is that?
No. I find it to be a very pleasant state. Of course, I have little experience of it myself. I have only been married once. The unfortunate misunderstanding between myself and a young person.
I'm sure I'm not very much interested in your family life, Lane.
No, sir. It is not very interesting. I hardly ever think of it myself.
Oh, very natural, I'm sure. That'll do, Lane, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Really? If the law orders don't set us a good example, what on earth is the use of them?
Mr. Earnest Worth.
My dear Earnest! What brings you up from the city?
What else should bring one anywhere? Eating as usual, I see, Algie.
Where have you been since Thursday?
In the country.
Oh, God, what on earth do you do there?
When one's in the city, one amuses oneself. When one is in the country, one amuses other people. It is excessive laborious.
Right. Who are these people that you amuse?
Oh, neighbors.
Well, you got nice neighbors. You're part of Will's Coochie there?
Puff the Hoary, I'd never speak to one of them.
Eventually, you must amuse them. Hey, Will Coochie is county, is it not?
Yes, of course. Why all these cups? Now, who is coming to tea?
Millie and Augusta and Gwendolyn.
How perfectly delightful.
I don't think Aunt Augusta approve of your being here, though.
May I ask why?
My good fellow, the way you flirt with Gwendolyn is perfectly disgraceful. He is almost as bad as the way Gwendolyn flirts with you.
Now, I am in love with Gwendolyn. I have come to the city expressly to propose to her.
I thought you said you came for pleasure. I call that business.
How utterly unromantic you are.
Well, there's nothing romantic in a proposal. Now, look, it is very romantic to be in love, but there is nothing romantic in a definite proposal. Hey, do not touch the cucumber sandwiches. They are ordered especially for Aunt Augusta.
Well, you've been eating them all this time.
That's quite a different matter. She is my aunt. There's some bread and butter. The bread and butter is for Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn is devoted to bread and butter.
And perfectly good bread and butter it is, too.
Yeah. Hey, whoa, hell, my good fellow, you need not eat it as if you're going to eat it all day. You behave as if you're married to her already, and you are not married to her already. I don't think you ever will be.
Why on earth do you say that?
I don't give my consent.
Your consent.
Yeah, my good fellow, Gwendolyn is my first cousin, and before I allow you to marry her, first you're going to have to clear up the whole question of, so that's there.
Cecily? Oh, Cecily. Well, I don't know. What on earth do you mean? I don't know anyone by the name of Cecily.
Lane? All right. Thank you, Lane.
Oh, there goes. Oh, now it's over.
Lane?
Lane, look, test the king.
Thank you, Lane. That'll do.
Yes, sir.
You left this cigarette case here on the bus tonight. Oh, look more at it. I didn't think it yours after all.
Of course it's mine. You have seen me with it 100 times, and you have no right whatsoever.
Oh,
Read what is written inside. You know, it is a very ungentlemanly thing to read a private cigarette case.
Yes, but this isn't your cigarette case. This case belongs to someone by the name of Cecily, and well, you said you didn't know anyone with that name.
Well, if you must know, Cecily happens to be my aunt. Yeah. Charming old lady she is, too.
Why does she call herself Little Cecily? From Little Cecily with her fondest love.
Some aunts are tall, and some aunts are not tall. Now that is a matter that surely an aunt may be allowed to decide for herself.
Right. But that does not account for the fact. Why does she call herself her uncle? From Little Cecily with her fondest love to her dear Uncle Jack? Now there is no objection, I admit, to an aunt being a small aunt, but an aunt, no matter what her size may be, to call her own nephew her uncle now. Just can't quite make out. Besides, your name, it is not Jack at all, it is Ernest.
It isn't Ernest, it's Jack.
You always told me it was Ernest. I introduced you to everybody as Ernest. You respond to the name of us. You look as if your name was Ernest like that. You're the most earnest looking person I've ever seen in my life. It's ridiculous you saying your name isn't Ernest.
Well, my name is Ernest in the city and Jack in the country, and that cigarette case.
Lane! Lane! That'll do, Lane. Thank you.
That cigarette case was given to me in the country.
All right. That does not account for why your small Aunt Cecily calls you her uncle. So come on out with it. Now, I must admit, I have always suspected you of being a secret and confirmed bumberries. I'm quite sure of it now.
Bumberries? What on earth do you mean by a bumberries?
I reveal to you the meaning of that incomparable expression. As soon as you're kind enough to inform me, why you Earnest in the city and Jack in the country?
Well, how about you produce my cigarette case first?
All right. Oh, that time.
And the smoke.
You said cigarette case. Now produce your explanation and pray make it improbable.
My dear Algie, there is nothing improbable about my explanation at all. In fact, it is perfectly ordinary. Now, the late Mr. Thomas Cardew, an old gentleman, adopted me while I was a little boy. Gave me in his will guardian of his granddaughter, Miss Cecily Cardew. Now, Cecily, who addresses me as her uncle from motives of respect that you could not possibly appreciate, lives in my place in the country under the charge of her admirable governess, Miss Prison.
Now, where is that place in the country, by the way?
Oh, that is nothing, you dear boy. You are not going to be invited. I will tell you candidly, it is not in Willacoochee.
I suspected that, my dear fellow. I've bomb-buried all over Willacoochee on 2 separate occasions. Now come on out with it. Why Earnest in the city and Jack in the country?
My dear Algie, I don't know whether you'll be able to understand my real motives now.
Oh, right. Try me.
Hardly serious enough. When one is placed in the position of guardian now, one must adopt a very high moral tone on all subjects. It's one's duty to do so, and as a high moral tone can hardly be said to conduce very much either one's health or one's happiness. In order to get to the city, I have always pretended to have a younger brother by the name of Earnest. That, my dear Algie, is the whole truth, plain and simple.
Oh, hang on now. Truth is really pure, never simple. Well, you really are as a bomb-bearers. I was quite right in saying you were a bomb-bearers. In fact, you are the most advanced bomb-bearers I don't know.
What on earth do you mean?
Look, you have invented a very useful younger brother by the name of Earnest. So you may come on up to the city whenever you like. You know me, I've created an invaluable, permanent invalid by the name of Bunbury, so I may go down to the country whenever I choose. Now, if it weren't for Bunbury's extraordinary bad health, for instance, I wouldn't be able to dine with you tonight at Willacoochee, so I have really been engaged in Augusta for over a week.
Now, wait a minute. I haven't asked you to dine with me anywhere tonight.
I know you're absurdly careless about sending invitations.
No. You had much better dine with your Aunt Augusta.
No, I have no intention of doing anything of the kind I dine with her on Monday night, and once a week is quite enough to dine with one's own relations. Besides, now that I know you to be a confirmed Bunbury, naturally I want to talk to you about Bunbury. I won't tell you the rules.
No. I'm not a Bunbury. If Gwendolyn accepts me, I'm going to kill my brother.
Oh.
Indeed, I think I'll kill him in any case. Cecily is a little too much interested in him. It is rather a bore.
All right, man who marries without knowing Bunbury has a tedious time of doing that.
No, that is nonsense. When Gwendolyn accepts me, I certainly won't want to know a Bunbury.
Okay. Your wife will. You don't seem to realize that married life 3 is company, 2 is none.
Is that a riddle?
Moron. She comes down to great. Come on, Lane, can make any more. Lane!
Miss Fairfax and Lady Bragg.
Oh, I was gonna ask you to make any more.
I hope you have been behaving very well.
I feel very. I've been feeling very well, Lady Wilson.
That is not quite the same thing. In fact, the 2 things rarely go together.
Slowly, Mom.
Take these muscle moves, hang on.
I just got my license.
Oh, there goes. All right.
My, you're looking smart today.
I am always smart, am I not, Mr. Worthing?
You are quite. You're
Your perfume's causing a
you're,
sneezing.
you're quite perfect. You're quite perfect, Miss Fairfax.
I hope I'm not that. It would leave no room for developments, and I intend to develop in many directions.
Oh, good Lord.
I'll have a cup of tea, Algernon.
No.
I'm gonna turn you up
when you get a chance.
Lane, you dropped it. I don't even know what that's called.
I'll also have one of those nice cucumber sandwiches you promised me.
Yeah, of course, Aunt Augusta. Lane? Why are there no cucumber sandwiches?
There were no cucumbers at the market this morning, so I went down twice.
No cucumber.
Thank you, Lane. That'll do.
Thank you, sir.
I am greatly distressed about there being no cucumber sandwiches.
It really makes no matter. I had some crumpets with Lady Harbury this morning. I've quite the treat for you tonight, Algernon.
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to give up the pleasure of dining with you this evening. I've just received a call saying that my poor friend Bunbury, he is very ill again, and then they think I ought to be with him.
It is very strange. This Mr. Bunbury seems to suffer from curiously bad health.
Yes, he is a dreadful invalid, Aunt Augusta.
I must say, Algernon, I think it is high time that Mr. Bunbury made up his mind as to whether he was going to live or to die.
Yes, of
This shilly-shallying about the question is absurd. I would be much obliged, Algernon, if you would ask Mr. Bunbury from me if he would be so kind as to not have a relapse on Saturday, as I rely upon you to arrange my music for me. It is my last engagement, and one wants something that will engage people in conversation. Particularly at the end of the season, when everybody has already said whatever it is they had to say. Which in most cases was probably not much.
I'll talk to Bunbury, Aunt Augusta. Now, if you would join me in the next room as a go of the program that I've drawn up for you.
It's very
Lane!
important.
Lane!
I'm sure the program
Lane!
after a few expertise.
Come on, Aunt Augusta! Don't gotta go! Oh, easy now! Oh.
Your turn to tug that boat.
Charming day it has been, Miss Fairfax.
Whenever people talk to me about the weather, I always feel quite certain it means something else.
I do mean something else.
I thought so. In fact, I am never wrong.
And I would like to take advantage of Lady Bracknell's temporary absence.
And I would certainly advise you to do so. Mama has a way of coming back suddenly into a room I've often had to speak to her about.
Gwendolyn, ever since I met you now, I have loved you more than any girl I ever met since I met you.
Yes, I'm quite well aware of the fact. And I often wish, in public at any rate, you had been more demonstrative. For me, you've always had an irresistible fascination. Even before I met you, I was far from indifferent to you. We live, as I hope you know, Mr. Worthing, in an age of ideals. My ideal has always been to love someone with the name Earnest. There's something in that name that inspires absolute confidence. The moment Algernon first mentioned to me he had a friend called Earnest, I knew I was destined to love you.
Gwendolyn, you don't know how happy that makes me, but Do you mean to say you couldn't love me if my name wasn't Earnest?
But your name is Earnest.
Yes, I know that, but suppose it was something else. You mean to say you couldn't love me then?
Now that is clearly a metaphysical speculation. And like most metaphysical speculations, it has very little reference at all to the actual facts of real life.
Well, I don't think it suits me at all.
Darling, it suits you perfectly. It is a divine name. It has a music of its own. It produces vibrations.
Well, really, I think there are much nicer names. I think Jack, for instance, is a child's name.
Jack? No, there is very little music in the name Jack, if any at all. Indeed, it does not thrill. It produces absolutely no vibrations. No, the only safe name is Earnest.
Oh no. I have got to get christened at once. I mean, we have got to get married at once.
Married, Mr. Wood?
Well, sure. You know that I love you, and you have led me to believe you are not absolutely indifferent to me.
I adore you, but you haven't proposed to me yet.
Oh, well. May I propose to you now?
I think it'd be an admirable opportunity.
Gwendolyn.
Yes, Mr. Worthing? What have you got to say to me?
Well, you know what I've got to say to you.
Yes, but you don't say it.
Gwendolyn. Will you marry me?
Of course I will, darling. How long you been about it? I'm afraid you've had very little experience. Okay, yes, and how to propose.
My own one.
What wonderfully blue eyes you have, Earnest. I hope you will always look at me just like that.
From his semi-recumbent position, it is most indecorous.
Mama, I was begging for time. Mr. Worthing is not quite finished yet.
Finished with what, may I ask?
Well, I am engaged to Mr. Worthing, Mama.
Pardon me, you are engaged to no one. When you do become engaged, either I or your father, should his health permit him, will inform you of the fact. Now I have some questions to put to you, Mr. Worthing. While I make these inquiries, you, Gwendolyn, can wait for me below in the vehicular. In the vehicular, Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn, get your in the Chevy. You may have a seat, Mr. Worthing.
No, thank you, Lady Bracknell. I prefer stairs.
I feel bound to tell you that you are not down on my list of eligible young gentlemen. However, I am prepared to enter your name should your answers be what a truly affectionate mother requires. I need my spectacles. There's nothing else in this place. Completely empty. All I carry is this book.
The spectacles are on your head, Lady Bracknell. Lower, there
Okay,
you are.
there we are. Much obliged. Do you smoke?
Well, yes. I must admit I smoke.
I am glad to hear it. I think a man should always have an occupation. I am of the opinion that a man who desires to get married should know either everything or nothing. Which do you know?
I know nothing, Lady Bracknell.
I am pleased to hear it. I do not approve of anything that tampers with natural ignorance. Ignorance is like a delicate exotic fruit. Touch it and the bloom is gone. What is your income?
My income, between 70 and 80 million a year in investments.
In shiver me timbers. In the investment?
Yes, I own a house with some land, of course, attached to it in the country. About 1,500 acres, but I don't rely on that for my real income.
A country house? How many bedrooms does it have? Oh, we can clear that matter up. You have the city house. A young girl with a simple, unspoiled nature like Gwendolyn could hardly be expected to live in the country.
Well, I own a house. I own a house in Belgrave Square. But it is let out by the year to Lady Blocks. Of course, I can get it back anytime I like.
What?
6 months notice.
What number in Belgrave Square?
149.
Ooh, the unfashionable side. I thought there was something that can soon be altered.
The fashion or the side?
Both, if necessary, I presume. What are your politics?
Well, I must admit, I have none. I am a man of the Tea Party.
Ooh, they count as social democrats. They dine with us, or at least they come in the evening. And now on to minor matters. Are your parents living?
Lady Ragnar, I have lost both my parents.
To lose one parent, Mr. Worthing, may be regarded as a misfortune. To lose both just looks like carelessness. Who are you wearing? That's from when I worked the red carpet. Who was your father?
Well, I'm afraid I don't really know. Well, the fact is, Lady Brad, I said I have lost both my parents, but it would be nearer to the truth to say my parents seem to have lost me. I don't know who I am by birth. I was found.
Found?
Yes, Lady Brandon found. The late Mr. Thomas Cardew, an old gentleman of very kindly and charitable disposition, found me and gave me the name of Worthing.
Where did the charitable gentleman find you?
In a handbag.
A handbag?
Yes, Lady Brandon, a handbag. A somewhat large black leather handbag with handles on it, an ordinary handbag.
In what locality did this Mr. James or Thomas Cardew find this ordinary handbag?
In the cloak room at Peachtree Station. It was given to him in mistake for his own.
The cloakroom at Peachtree Station?
Yes, the Brighton line.
The line is immaterial. I must say, Mr. Worthing, I am somewhat bewildered by what you have just told me. To be born, or at any rate bred, in a handbag, whether it had handles or not, seems to me to display a contempt for the ordinary decencies of family life that reminds one of the worst excesses of the Civil War. I strongly suggest you make some effort to produce a relation as soon as possible and to take direct course of action to provide a parent at any rate of either sex before the end of the season.
Well, I don't know how I could possibly manage to do that, but I could produce the handbag at any moment.
You can hardly imagine that Mr. Blackmore and I would dream of allowing our only daughter to marry into a cloakroom and form an alliance with a parcel. Good morning, Mr.
No, we can
Worthing.
stay right there.
Lane,
I can always
Lane,
do it.
Lane.
What?
I would like to make a dramatic exit. Swiftly, please.
Live with the legs. Breaks the neck of Bruce.
I'll 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh.
Good Lord.
So to recap, Mr. Worthing, dream, imagine, only daughter, cloakroom, parcel, good morning. And get some ramps installed.
Gonna go off all right, old boy.
As far as Quentin is concerned, we are engaged. You know, her mother is perfectly horrid. I never met such a gorgon in all my life. Now, I'm not quite sure what a gorgon is like, but I'm quite certain she is one.
Mm-hmm.
Algie?
Mm.
Hey, Algie.
What?
Algie?
What?
You don't think there's a chance of Gwendolyn becoming like her mother in 150 years or something?
All women become like their mothers. It is the tragedy. Now, no man does, that's his.
Is that clever?
It is perfectly phrased and quite as true as any observation in civilized life ought to be. Ooh, have you told Gwendolyn the truth about your being Earnest in the city and Jack in the country?
I did, yeah, Algie. The truth isn't quite the sort of thing one tells of a nice, sweet, refined girl.
No. What about your brother, huh? What about the profligate Earnest, huh?
By the end of the week, I shall have got rid of him. I'll say he died in Paris of, ready? Apoplexy.
Apoplexy.
Now, lots of people die quite suddenly of apoplexy, right?
Apoplexy. Yeah. My dear fella, it's hereditary. It's the sort of thing that runs in families. Oh my God, look, y'all just say it was a severe chill.
Well, and you're sure severe chill isn't hereditary or anything like that?
Of course it is.
Very well. My poor dear brother Ernest carried off suddenly in Paris of a severe chill. Now that gets rid of him.
I thought you said that Miss Cardew was a little too interested in your brother.
That is all right. Cecily is not a silly romantic girl, I'm glad to say.
Well, I should really like to see Cecily.
Take very good care you never do. She is excessively pretty and she is only just 18.
Have you told Gwendolyn that you have an excessively pretty boy who is only just 18?
My Algie. One doesn't blurt these things out to people. Cecily and Gwendolyn are perfectly certain to be extremely great friends. I'll bet you anything you like. After half an hour they have met, they'll be calling each other sister.
Women only do that after they have called each other a lot of other things. My dear fellas, if we want to get a good table tonight at Willis's, we really ought to go and dress. It is nearly 7.
All right, first of all, that clock says nearly 8, and second of all, it doesn't work.
Well, now it's nearly 7. I like dinner. Let's go. What do you want to do after dinner? Theater?
No, I love listening.
All right, how's the club then?
No, I hate talking.
Fine. What shall we do then? Hmm?
Nothing.
Well, you talk about hard work doing nothing. No, I don't mind doing hard work when there's no definite object in the kind. Ooh, hey.
Miss Fairfax, again.
Great. Gwendolyn, upon my word.
Algy, turn your back. I have something very particular to say to this.
Really, Gwendolyn, I don't think I can allow this at all.
Algy, you always adopt a strictly immoral attitude toward life. You're not quite old enough to do that.
My own one.
Ernest, we may never be married. From the expression on Mama's face, I feel we never shall. Whatever influence I had over Mama, I lost at the age of 3. But although she may prevent us from becoming man and wife, and I may marry someone else, and marry often, nothing she could do could possibly alter my eternal devotion to you, dear Gwendolyn. The story of your romantic origin as related to me by Mama with unpleasing comments has naturally started the deep. Your city address in Atlanta, I have. What is your address in the country?
The Manor House, Spotted Log Lane, Sugar Hill.
There's a decent postal service, I suppose. It may be necessary to do something desperate. That, of course, will require serious consideration. I will communicate with you daily. How long do you remain in the city?
Till Monday.
Good. Algy, you may turn around now.
Yeah, turn around already.
You may also ring the bell.
You will let me see.
Lay!
You will let
Lay!
me. You will let
Lay!
me. You will let me see you to your car, Miss Fairfax.
Certainly.
I will see Miss Fairfax to her car.
Yes, sir.
What the hell are you doing? All right, take a seat, Georgie.
Yes, Captain.
Small lane, I'm going Bunbury.
Oh, yes, sir.
Put up all my dress clothes, smoking jackets, all my Bunbury suits.
Yes, sir.
Now there is a sensible, intellectual girl. You know, the only one I ever cared for in my life. Now, what are you two so amused at?
Nothing. Just a little anxious about poor old Bunbury, that's all.
You better take care of your friend Bunbury, or he's gonna get you into a serious scrape one day.
Oh, I love scrapes. They're the only thing that I'll never serious.
You know, that is nonsense. You know, you never talk anything but nonsense.
Nobody ever does.
Algy, what is that?
Well, I reckon it is time to go Bunburying. I will invite you to join my brother Merriman in the country. Willacoochee. Right this way.
Hey, open it at page 15. We will repeat yesterday's lesson.
I don't like German. It is not at all a becoming language.
Child, you know how anxious your guardian is that you should improve yourself in every way. He laid particular stress on your German as he was leaving for the city yesterday. Now, come on.
Uncle Jack is so serious. In fact, he is so very serious, I don't think he can be quite well.
Child, your guardian enjoys the best of health, and his gravity of demeanor is especially to be commended in one so comparatively young as he is. You must remember his constant anxiety over that unfortunate young man, his brother.
Oh, I do wish dear Uncle Jack would allow that unfortunate young man, his brother, to come down here sometime. We might have a good influence over him in this prison.
Oh, indeed, I am not certain that I could desire to retain him. I'm not in favor of this modern mania of turning bad people into good people at a moment's notice. You must put away your diary, Cecily. I really don't see why you should keep a diary at all.
Well, I keep a diary in order that I may enter the wonderful secrets of my life.
Memory, my dear Cecily, is the diary that we all carry about with us.
Yes, but it usually chronicles things that never happened, and in fact couldn't have happened. I think that memory is responsible for all of the 3-volume novels on the shelves of the Walmart.
Do not speak slightingly of the 3-volume novel, Cecily. I wrote one myself in early days.
Oh, did you, Miss Prism? I hope it did not end happily.
Good and happily, and bad unhappily. That is what fiction means.
And was your novel never published?
Alas, no. The manuscript, unfortunately, was abandoned.
What? Oh my God.
Well, I used the word in the sense of lost or mislaid. To your work, child.
Oh, but look, here comes that preacher man for you.
Dr. Charleston, this is indeed a pleasure.
Miss Prism, how are we this morning? I trust you are well.
Oh, no, Miss Prism has just been complaining to me of a slight headache. I think it would do her so much good, Mr. Man, to go on a stroll through the park with
Cecily,
you.
I have not mentioned anything about a headache.
No, I know that, Miss Prism, but I felt instinctively that you had one. Yes. In fact, I was thinking about that and not about my German when the pastor preacher when he came right in.
I hope, Cecily, you have not been inattentive.
Oh no, I'm afraid I have.
That is strange. Were I fortunate enough to be Miss Prism's pupil, I would hang upon her lips. I shall see you both, no doubt, at the church bake sale. I'm looking forward to diving in your muffins.
You know, I think you're Reverend. Let me take that. I think I will have that stroll with you. I might have a headache after all. Good.
With pleasure, Miss Prism. With pleasure. We might go as far as the schools and back.
Oh, yes. Oh, Cecily, you will read your political economy in my absence. The chapter on the fall of the rupee you may omit. It is somewhat too sensual. It is sensational. Sensational. So, Reverend.
y'all.
Yeah. Oh.
Horrid political economy, horrid geography, horrid Germans.
Mr. Worthing has just driven over from the station, and he has brought his luggage with him.
Oh my God. Mr. Ernest Worthing, Uncle Jack's brother. Did you tell him that Mr. Worthing was in the city?
Yes, and he expressed that he wished to speak with you privately.
Oh my God! Right, see that man here? Oh my God. I feel rather afraid. I've never met any really wicked person before. I'm so afraid he will look. No. Just like everyone else.
My little cousin Cecily, I'm sure.
You are under some strange misconception. I am not little. In fact, I am unusually tall for my age. But I am your cousin Cecily. You I saw in your card are my cousin Ernest, my wicked cousin Ernest.
No, I'm not with you. Cousin Cecily, you really mustn't think that I'm with you.
Well, if you're not, then you've certainly been deceiving us all in a very inexcusable manner.
Well, I must admit I have been rather reckless.
I'm glad to hear it.
In fact, now that you mention it, I have been very bad in my own small way.
Oh. Well, I wouldn't be so proud of that. But I'm sure it's very pleasant.
What's pleasant being here with you?
I can't understand how you are here at all. Uncle Jack won't be back until Monday.
Well, that is a great disappointment. I'm obliged to go up by train on Monday. I have a business appointment that I am anxious to. Yes.
Well, I know how important it is not to make a business engagement if one wants to retain any of the beauty of life. But I do think you should wait till Uncle Jack gets back. I know he wants to talk to you about your emigrating.
What?
You're emigrating. He's going up to buy your outfit.
No, I wouldn't trust Jack to buy my outfit. He has no taste in neckties at all.
Well, you won't need neckties where you're going. Uncle Jack is sending you to Australia.
Australia?
Mm.
No. Nope. I would sooner die.
No, you said the dinner opens, so now you'd have to choose between this world, the next world, and Australia.
Well, the accounts that I have received of Australia and the next world are not particularly encouraging. This world is good enough for me, cousin Cicely.
Yes, but are you good enough for it?
So I'd like you to phone me.
Oh, I'm afraid I've no time this afternoon.
I'm here to find myself, then.
No, I think that is rather quixotic of you, but you should try.
All right, I will. I feel better already.
You're looking a little worse.
That's because I'm hungry.
Oh, what a thoughtless creature I am! I'd forgotten that when one is going to lead an entirely new life, one requires regular and wholesome meals. Won't you come in?
I have a buttonhole first.
A what?
So I never had much of an appetite unless I have a buttonhole first.
Okay. Would you like a magical golden flower?
I think I'd rather have a pink rose.
Why?
Because you'll like a pink rose, cousin Cicely?
I don't think it can be right for you to talk to me like that. Miss Prism never says such things.
Oh, well, Miss Prism, she is a short-sighted old lady. The prettiest girl I have seen in my life.
Miss Prism says that all good looks are a snare.
Well, they are a snare that any sensible man should like to be caught in.
Well, I don't think I should like to catch a sensible man. I wouldn't know what to talk to him about. Come on!
Too much alone, dear Reverend Chasuble.
Lord.
You should get married. A misanthrope I can understand, a woman-thrope never.
Believe me, I do not deserve so neologistic a phrase.
Reverend, what are you doing?
No, we'll go around. By persistently remaining single, a man converts himself into a permanent public temptation. Men should be more careful. This very celibacy leads weaker vessels astray.
But is a man not equally attractive when married?
No married man is ever attractive except to his wife.
And often, I've been told, not even to her.
Oh, that depends on the intellectual sympathies of the woman. Maturity can always be depended on.
Maturity.
Rightness can be trusted.
Rightness.
But young women are green.
Green.
I spoke horticulturally.
Like taters.
No, my metaphor was drawn from fruits.
You got some big ones.
Cicely!
Perhaps she followed us to the schools.
Mr. Worthing?
Mr. Worthing.
This is indeed a surprise. We did not look for you till Monday afternoon.
Well, I've returned sooner than I expected. I hope you are well, Reverend Charles.
Dear Mr. Worthing, I trust this garb of woe does not betoken some terrible calamity.
My brother.
Yeah, more shameful deaths and extravagance.
Still leading his life pleasure.
Dead.
Hey, your brother Earnest dead.
Quite dead.
What a lesson for him. I trust he will profit by it.
Mr. Worthing, I offer you my sincere condolence. Were you with him at the end?
No. He died abroad in Paris, in fact.
Was the cause of death mentioned?
Severe chill, it seems.
There's a man so shall he be.
Charity, dear Miss Prism, charity. None of us is perfect. I myself am particularly susceptible to drafts. Will the interments take place here?
No, he has expressed a desire to be buried in Paris.
In Paris?
Yeah.
I fear that hardly points to any very serious state of mind at the last. You would, no doubt, wish me to make some slight allusion to this tragic domestic affliction next Sunday.
They remind me, Dr. Charles. I suppose you know how to christen, all right?
Oh, sure.
I mean, you are continually christened, are
But
you?
babies, oh,
Well, I would like to be christened myself this afternoon if you have nothing better to do.
Well, christening is, I regret to say, one of the Reverend's most common duties in this parish. I've often spoken to the poorer classes on the subject, but they don't seem to know what thrift is.
But surely, Mr. Worthing, you have been christened already.
Well, I don't remember anything about it.
But have you any grave doubts on the subject?
Well, I certainly intend to have. Of course, I don't know if the thing bother you in any way, or if you think I'm a little too old now.
Not at all. The sprinkling, and indeed the immersion of adults, is a perfectly canonical practice.
Immersion?
You need have no apprehensions. Sprinkling is all that is necessary, for indeed I think advisable. At what hour would you wish the ceremony performed?
Would 5:30 do?
Admirably. Admirably. Now, Mr. Worthing, I will not intrude any longer into a house of sorrow. I would merely beg you not to be too much bowed down with grief. What seems to us bitter trials are often blessings in disguise.
This seems to me a blessing of an extremely obvious kind.
Uncle Jack? Oh, do look happy. You look as though you just came from an awful costume party.
Oh, sis, me.
And I have such good news for you. Guess who was in the living room? Your brother.
Who?
Guess who's in the living room? Your brother. Ernest, you were about half an hour ago.
No, that is nonsense. I haven't got a brother.
Uncle Jack, don't say that! No matter how badly he may have behaved to you in the past, he is still your brother. Oh, no.
These are very joyful tidings.
After we had all been resigned to his loss, his sudden return seems to me peculiarly distressing.
Well, I think it's perfectly absurd.
Brother John, I've come up from the city to tell you that I'm sorry for all the trouble I've given you, and I intend to lead a better life in the future.
Uncle Jack, you are not going to refuse your own brother's hand.
Nothing could induce me to take his hand at this moment. I think it's coming down here in outrage. He knows perfectly well why.
Just come over here, I'm going to talk to you. Look, surely there must be much good in everyone, right?
Ernest has just been telling me about his poor invalid friend, Mr. Bunbury, whom he goes to visit so often. And surely there must be a lot of good in one who leaves the pleasures of Hollowana to sit by a bed of pay.
He has been talking about Bunbury, has he?
Of course. Now, I must admit, the faults are all on my side. But I must say that Brother John's coldness is peculiarly painful.
Peculiar.
Uncle Jack, if you do not shake your brother's hand right now, I will never forgive you.
Never forgive me.
Never, never, never!
Well, this is the last time I shall ever do it.
It is pleasant, is it not, to see so perfect a reconciliation.
Come, Miss Prism, my little task of reconciliation is over.
You have performed a beautiful action today, dear child.
We must not be premature in our judgments.
Oh, I feel very happy.
Algie.
You have got to get out of this place as soon as possible. Now, I don't allow Bunbury in here.
I have put Mr. Worthing's things in the room next to your own. I suppose that is all right.
What?
Mr. Ernest's luggage, I have unpacked them and put them in the room next to yours.
Here's luggage.
Yes, sir. With 3 portmanteaus, a dressing case, 2 hat boxes, and a large luncheon basket.
I'm afraid I can only stay for a week this time.
Merry man, order the dog cart at once. Mr. Earnest has suddenly been called back to the city.
Yes, sir.
Cecily is a darling.
No, you are not to talk of Miss Cardew like that. Now, I don't like it.
I don't like your clothes. You look perfectly ridiculous in them. Now, it is perfectly childish to be in mourning for a man who is actually staying in your house as a guest for a whole week.
No, you had much better leave by the 4-5 train.
I don't do no such thing so long as you're in mourning. It would be most unfriendly of you.
Your family is ridiculous. Your conduct an outrage. And your presence in my garden utterly absurd. Now this barbarian, as you call me, has not been a great success for you. Whoa!
I think it has been a great success. I'm in love with Cecily, and that is
Oh! I just came out to water the roses.
Uh-huh.
I thought you were with Uncle Jack.
Yeah, he went to go and call the dog cart for me.
Oh, is he gonna take you on a nice drive?
No, afraid he's gonna send me away.
Oh my God, there must be part.
It is the most painful part.
It is always painful to part from one someone has known for such a brief space of time.
Thank you.
Sir,
Oh.
The dog cart is at the door, sir.
Come here, man. It can wait. For like 5 minutes.
Cecily, I hope I should understand you if I state quite frankly and openly that you seem to be the visible personification of absolute perfection.
Oh! No, I think your frankness does you great credit, Ernest. If you allow me, I will copy your remarks into my diary.
You keep a diary?
Of course.
I do anything to read mine.
Oh no, you see, it is just a private collection of a young girl's thoughts and consequently meant for publication. Now, you must continue, Ernest. I simply delight from taking down for dictation. I have reached absolute perfection. You can go on.
Seriously, ever since I have dared to look upon your wondrous and incomparable beauty, I have dared to love you wildly, devotedly, hopelessly.
Hopelessly, that don't make much sense.
Cecily!
Well,
That dog cart is awaiting, sir.
Pam.
Tell it to come around next week at the same hour.
Yes, sir.
Uncle Jack would be very much annoyed if he knew you were staying on until next week at the same hour.
I don't care about Uncle Jack. I love you, Cecily.
Oh my God.
You'll marry me, won't you?
Well, of course, you silly boy. Why we've been engaged for 3 months.
3 months?
Mm-hmm.
How did we become engaged?
Well, ever since Uncle Jack first confessed to us that he had a very young and wicked brother called Ernest, you, of course, have formed the chief topic of conversation between myself and Miss Prism. I dare say it was foolish of me when I fell in love with you, Ernest.
Oh, and when was our engagement settled?
Oh, I will. On the 14th of February last, worn out by your entire ignorance of my existence, I determined to end the thing one way or the other. So after a long struggle with myself, I accepted you under a dear old oak tree, which I then cut down to help Native Americans. And the next day, I bought this ring in your name. And this is the little bangle with the true lover's knot approach you always to wear. Mm-hmm. And I've also kept all of your beautiful letters.
Letter. I wrote you in a letter, Cecily.
You need hardly remind me of that, Ernest. I remember all too well that I was forced to write your letters for you. I wrote always 3 times a week, sometimes oftener.
Why not?
Oh no, they would make you far too conceited. The 3 you wrote me after I'd broken off the engagement are so beautiful and so badly spelled that even now I can hardly read them without crying a little.
Our engagement was broken up?
Mm-hmm. On
There, March 22nd. Today, I broke off my engagement with Ernest. The weather continues charming.
Why did you break it off? I did nothing at all, Cicely. I'm hurt indeed that you broke it, especially when the weather was so charming.
It would hardly have been a very serious engagement if I hadn't been broken off at least once. Besides, I accepted you before the week was out.
Perfect angel you are, Cicely.
Oh, you dear romantic boy. I hope your hair curls naturally, does it?
Yeah. That was.
I'm so glad.
You're never gonna break off our engagement again, Cicely.
Well, I don't think I could now that I've actually met you. Besides, there's the question of your name.
Yeah, my name, of
Now,
course.
you mustn't laugh at me, darling, but it's always been a girlish dream of mine to love someone by the name of Earnest.
My dear child, do you mean to say that you couldn't love me if my name had some other name?
What other name?
Oh, any name. You like Algernon, for instance.
God, I know, like Algernon.
Well, my dear, sweet, loving Cicely, I don't think of any reason you shouldn't like it. It's not a bad name at all. You can say you couldn't love me if my name was Algernon.
Well, I might respect you, Ernest. I might admire your character, but I fear I would not be able to give you my undivided attention.
Whatever he's called, he is familiar with all the rites and ceremonies of the church, I presume.
Oh yes, he is a most learned man. He's never written a single book, so you know how much he knows.
Unless he at once on the most important christening. Business.
Okay.
Should more than half an hour.
All right. What an impetuous young man he is. I like his hair so much. Oh, I must enter his proposal into my diary.
Miss Fairfax.
I am writing. Today, Ernest proposed to me in real life.
Amen.
What?
Miss Fairfax has just called to speak with Mr. Worthing on very important business, she said.
Okay, did you tell her Mr. Worth was at the library?
Oh, well, I saw him head over in the direction of the rectory sometime ago.
Okay. See that woman in here. And,
Yes, miss.
bring the tea fixes!
Oh, yes, please.
Come.
What? Yeah. This door isn't dooring. I'll take the long way past the man.
Hurry, don't forget the tea fixes. Oh my God, I don't know who this woman is.
Miss Fairfax!
Hold on, I gotta hide.
She's such a trickster, that Miss Fairfax.
Wait, let me introduce myself. My name is Cecily Cardew.
Cecily Cardew, what a very sweet name. Something tells me we are going to be great friends. I like you already more than I can say. My first impressions of people are never wrong.
Well, how nice of you to like me so much after such a comparatively short time. Pray sit down.
Oh! I may call you Cecily, may I?
Oh, with pleasure.
And, please call me Gwendolyn, won't you?
Oh yeah, if you wish.
That is all quite settled, is it not?
Now it is a jacuzzi.
Bubbles tickle a little bit.
Oh my God, this water's dirty. Get the chlorine.
Hey, you can't case of the vapors.
Now what did you say, Gwendolyn?
I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
My mama, who is remarkably strict, has brought me up to be extremely short-sighted. It's part of her system. Would you mind my looking at you through my glasses?
Oh my God, not at all, Gwendolyn. I'm very fond of being looked at.
Oh. Your mother, no doubt, or some female relative of advanced years resides here also?
No, My guardian, with the assistance of Miss Prism, has the arduous task of looking after me.
Your guardian?
I'm Mr. Worthing's ward.
Oh, ward. It's strange. He never mentioned to me he had a ward. I'm very secretive of him. I'm very fond of you, sis. I've liked you ever since I met you.
No.
But I'm bound to state that now I know you're Mr. Worthing's ward. I cannot help expressing a wish you were just a little older than you seem to be, and not quite so very alluring in appearance. In fact, if I may speak candid.
Oh, pray do. I think whenever one has something unpleasant to say, one must always be quite candid.
Well, to speak with perfect candor, Cecily, I wish you were 42 and more than usually plain for your age. Earnest has a strong, upright nature. He is the very soul of truth and honor. But us girls know that even men of the noblest possible moral character are extremely susceptible to the influence of the physical charms of others.
Gwendolyn! Did you say Ernest?
Yes.
Okay. It is not Mr. Ernest Worthing who is my guardian. It is his brother, his elder brother.
Ernest never mentioned to me he had a brother.
Well, I'm sorry to say they have not been on good terms for some time. Bless their hearts.
That counts for it.
Mm-hmm.
Cecily, you've lifted a load from my mind. I was growing almost anxious. Of course, you are quite sure it is not Mr. Earnest Worthing who is your guardian.
Oh, quite sure. In fact, I'm going to be here.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, dear. There is no reason I should keep it a secret from you. Mr. Ernest Worthing and I are engaged to be married.
My darling Cecily, I feel there must be some slight error. Mr. Ernest Worthing is engaged to me.
Okay. Well, there must be some mistake. You see, Ernest proposed to me exactly 5 minutes ago.
It is certainly very curious, for he asked me to be his wife yesterday afternoon at 5:30. If incident, pray do so. I never travel without my diary. One should always have something sensational to read in the train. I am very sorry, dear Cecily, if it's any disappointment to you. I'm afraid I have the prior plan.
Now, it would distress me more than I can say, my dearest Gwendolyn, if it caused you any mental or physical anguish. But I feel bound to point out that since Ernest proposed to you yesterday, he has clearly, 5 minutes ago, changed his mind. That was mine. I'm gonna give it to me. Thank you.
If the poor fellow has been entrapped into any foolish promise, I shall consider it my duty to rescue him at once, and with a firm hand.
Whatever entanglement my boy may have found himself in, I will never approach him with it after we are married.
Do you allude to me, Miss Cardew, as an entanglement? You are presumptuous. On an occasion of this kind, it becomes more than a moral duty to speak one's mind. It becomes a pleasure.
Do you suggest, Miss Fairfax, that I entrapped Ernest into an engagement? How dare you? This is no time to wear the shallow mask of manners. When I see a spade, I call it a spade. Shall I lay tea here? Yeah, as usual. But...
Are there many interesting walks in the vicinity, Miss Cardew? Shh!
Why, yes. A great many, Miss Fairfax. From the top of one of the hills, quite close, one can see 5 cunties.
5 cunties. I don't think I should like that.
Oh,
I hate crowds.
is that why you live in the city?
Ooh! Quite an abundant garden you have there, Miss Cardew. Shh!
I'm so glad you like it, Miss Fairfax.
Had no idea there were any flowers in the country.
Flowers are as common in the country, Miss Fairfax, as people are in Atlanta. Would you like some tea?
Bless your heart. Thank you.
Sugar?
No, thank you.
Okay, can you give it tea?
Sugar is not fashionable anymore.
Right. Cake or bread and butter?
Bread and butter, please.
Cake.
Cake is rarely seen at the best houses nowadays.
Can you hand that to Miss Fairfax when you're all set?
Yes, miss. Thank you kindly. Yes. Give me that. She got it! You have filled my tea with lumps of sugar, and though I asked most distinctively for bread and butter, you've given me cake! From the moment I saw you, I distrusted you. I felt you were false and deceitful. I am never deceived in such matters. My first impressions of people are invariably right.
Miss Fairfax, no doubt I am trespassing on your very valuable hooker time. You must have many similar calls to make in the neighborhood. No? Did you not want to go?
Oh, darling.
Ernest! Ernest! A moment. You're engaged to be married to this unconvincing lady?
Now, to dear little Cecily. Of course not. What could put such an idea in your pretty little head?
I don't know. I just thought.
You see, I knew there was some error, Miss Fairfax. The man who is now caressing your sausage-like nubbins. He is none other than my Worthy, or he is John Worthy, that's him.
I beg your pardon. What was that you were mumbling over there?
It's Uncle Jack.
Jack?
Yes. This is Ernest. Hello. A moment. May I ask if you are engaged to be married?
Get on up now.
That.
No. Won't put that idea in your head, huh?
Thank you.
I thought there was some slight error, Miss Cardouche. The gentleman upon whom you are perched like a bamboo-hungry panda? That is my cousin, Mr. Algernon Moncrief.
Oh, Algernon Moncrief.
Oh,
Are you called Algernon?
I cannot deny it.
Is your name really John?
Well, tonight, if I like, my name's certainly John.
Oh, a gross deception has been practiced upon us.
My poor wounded Cecily.
My dear wronged Gwendolyn.
You will call me sister from now on, will you not?
Yes.
There is just one question I should be allowed to put to my guardian first.
An admirable idea. Mr. Worthing, where is your brother Ernest? We are both engaged to be married to your brother Ernest, so it is a matter of some importance to us to know where your brother Ernest is at present.
Gwendolyn! Cecily! You know, it is very painful for me to speak the truth. It is the first time in my life I've been reduced to such a painful position. I never had a brother in my life. And I certainly have not the smallest intention to have one in the future.
No brother at all.
You never a brother of any kind.
Never, not even other.
I am afraid it is quite clear, Cecily, that neither of us is engaged to be married to anyone.
It is not a very pleasant position for a young girl to find herself in, is it?
No. Let us go into the house. They will hardly venture to come after us there.
He's only been used like 5 times.
This ghastly state of things is what you call bun burying, I suppose.
What a wonderful bum bear it is. The most wonderful bum bear I've ever been on in my life.
Well, you have no right whatsoever to bun bury here.
Oh, that is ridiculous. One has a right to bum bear wherever one chooses. Any serious bum bears would know that.
And as for your conduct of Miss Cartoon, I must say it is quite inexcusable.
Oh, well,
To say nothing of the fact that she is my ward.
You're deceiving Miss Fairfax, saying nothing of the
No,
fact that
I
she
am in love with Gwendolyn. I want to be engaged to her.
Cecily. I want to be engaged to her because I
There is certainly
know her.
no chance of you marrying Miss Cartoon.
Oh, well, I don't think there is much likelihood of you, Jack. in Miss Fairfax being united.
Well, that is no business of yours.
Oh, well, if it was my business, I wouldn't.
Muffins to cheer you up. They're my special.
Wow. No, my business, right? What my business? No, I'm not gonna talk about it. Wow.
How can you sit there, calmly eating muffins, when we are in this horrible trouble? Now, I can't make out. It's perfectly heartless of you under the circumstances.
Well, I'm in trouble. Eating is the only thing that consoles me. In fact, when I'm in really great trouble, as anyone who knows me intimately would tell you, I refuse everything except food and drink. Now, at the present moment, I am eating muffins because I am unhappy. I'm particularly fond of muffins.
Well, you don't have to eat them in that
What are you
greedy
doing?
way.
What are you doing? Jack, I wish you'd have a tea cake instead. I don't like tea cake.
But I suppose a man may be allowed to eat his own muffins in his own garden. Oh, not dear. Oh,
Sit down! You said it was perfectly harmless to eat muffins.
no. I said it was perfectly harmless of you. Under the circumstances, now that is a very different thing.
Yeah, that may be, but the muffins are still the same.
I wish to goodness you would go.
You can't possibly ask me to go. I haven't had my dinner yet. Nothing never goes without my dinner. Nobody ever does. Except vegetarians and people like that. Now, I have an appointment with Dr. Charles Boys at 6:15 to be christened under the name of Earnest.
No, I made arrangements this morning myself with the Reverend Charles with the christening involved. And naturally, I will take the name of Earnest. You know, we can't both be christened Earnest. It's absurd besides. There is no evidence at all that I have been christened by anybody. Now, you have been christened already.
Yeah, but I have not been christened for years.
Oh, but you have been christened. That is the important thing.
Yes, quite so I know my Constitution can stand it. Now you, sir, it might make very unwell. You can't have forgotten that very recently someone very close to you was nearly carried off in Paris by a severe chill.
Well, yeah, but you said the severe chill isn't hericera or anything of that kind.
Hereditary. I know what I said, but they say it is now.
No, that is nonsense. You know, you never talk anything but nonsense.
Now go in the muffins again, I wish you would! Don't let you laugh! No, stop, there's only two left, there's only two! Oh, muffins!
I've already told you to go. You know I don't want you here. Why don't you go?
Haven't finished my tea yet. And there's still one muffin left.
The fact that they did not follow us at once into the house shows that they have some sense of shame left.
Well, they have been stomping muffins. I mean, that looks like repentance.
I call it murder. This isn't all. Let's preserve a dignified silence.
Certainly, it is the only thing to do now.
We will not be the first to speak.
Certainly not.
This was the nicest best
Be
people ask
glad
you.
to be my guardian's brother.
I'm assuming that I'm not ahead of meeting you.
That certainly sounds like a satisfactory explanation to me.
Yes, dear, if you can believe him.
No, I don't. But that doesn't change the wonderful beauty of his answer.
True. In matters of grave importance, style, not sincerity is the vital thing. Mr. Worthing, what explanation can you offer to me for pretending to have a brother? Was it in order you might have an opportunity of coming up to the city to see me as often as possible?
Wait. Can you doubt it, Miss Fairfax?
Well, the explanations appear to be quite satisfactory, especially Mr. Worthing's.
I'm more than content with what Mr. Moncrief has said.
Then you think we should forgive them?
Yes. I mean, no.
True. I have forgotten. There are principles at stake that one cannot surrender. Which one of us should tell them?
Couldn't we tell them at the same time?
Oh, an excellent idea. Will you take them down for me?
Mm-hmm.
1 and a 2 and a... Your Christian names are still in super
What?
Christian names? We're going to be christened this afternoon.
Oh, for my sake, you are prepared to do this terrible thing?
Oh, I am.
To be with me, you are ready to face this unspeakable evil?
Oh, you know I am.
Oh my God.
How absurd to talk of the equality of the sexes. Where questions of self-sacrifice are concerned, men are infinitely beyond us.
They have moments of physical courage of which we women know absolutely nothing.
Darling!
No, bro!
What is this thing? Merely that I'm engaged to be married to Mr. Worthing, Mama.
Come here. Come here and sit down. Come here. Sit down immediately. Apprised, sir, of my daughter's speech sudden flight by her trusty maid, whose confidence I purchased by means of a small coin, I followed at once my luggage train. You will clearly understand that all communication between yourself and my daughter must cease immediately. On this point, as indeed on all points, I am firm.
And I am engaged to be married to Gwendolen and Lady Bracknell.
You are nothing of the kind, sir. And now, as regards Algernon. Algernon,
What? Yes, Augusta.
may I ask if it is in this house that your invalid friend Mr. Bunbury resides?
Bunbury? No, but Bunbury doesn't live here. Bunbury's somewhere else at present. In fact, Bunbury is dead.
Yeah! When did Mr. Bunbury die? His death must have been extremely sudden.
Yeah, Bunbury died this afternoon.
What did he die of?
Bunbury?
Yes, Bunbury.
Bunbury, Bunbury's doctors found out that, Bunbury couldn't live, and, so Bunbury died.
How did he die? By what means?
He was quite exploded.
Explosion! Was he a victim of some revolutionary outrage?
No.
I was not aware that Mr. Bunbury was interested in
I just
social
said
legislation.
his doctors found him out, and then Bunbury just died because they said so.
He seems to have had great confidence in the opinions of his physicians. I am glad, however, that he made up his mind at the last and took some course of action and followed proper medical advice.
What? Oh.
Mr. Worthing, who is this young person whose hand my nephew Algernon is now holding in what seems to me to be a peculiarly unnecessary manner?
That lady is Miss Cecily Cardew, my ward.
I am engaged to be married to Cecily Ann Augusta.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, Mr. Moncrief
No.
and I, we are engaged to be married, Lady Bracknell.
I do not know if there was anything peculiarly exciting in the air, but the number of engagements that go on seems to me to be quite higher than statistics have laid out for our guidance. I do not think some preliminary inquiries on my part would be out of the question. Mr. Worthing, is Miss Cardew at all connected with any of the larger railway stations in Atlanta? I merely desire information. Until yesterday, I was not aware of any families or persons whose origin was in a terminus.
Well, Miss Cardew is the granddaughter of the late Mr. Thomas Cardew. Miss Cardew's family solicitors are Messrs. Markby, and Markby.
Markby, and Markby.
Yes.
A firm in the highest position of their profession. So far, I am
Well,
satisfied.
how extremely kind of you, Lady Bracknell.
Gwendolyn, the time for our departure has arrived. We have not a moment to lose.
Mama, no.
Oh, Mr. Worthing, as a matter of form, I should ask, does Miss Cardew have any little fortune?
Oh, well, about $150 million in funds. That is all. Goodbye,
A
Mr.
moment
Bracknell.
of your
So
time.
please, Swifty, you know you've got to leave now.
$150 million. And nothing can stop me. That furniture, I'm invincible. Like you said, $150 million and in tons. Why, Miss Cardew seems to me to be a very attractive young lady. Now that I look at her. Few girls these days have any really solid qualities. Qualities that last and improve with time. We live, I regret to say, in an age of services. Come here, sweet child. A young lady should never be on her knees. Your hands all wet and clammy. Let me take a look at you. Oh, sweet child, your dress is sadly simple, and your hair appears almost as nature left it. But we can alter all of that. Kindly turn round for me, child. No, the side view. Oh, just as I expected. The chin a little higher, dear. Style is largely dependent on how high the chin is worn. They are currently worn very high just at present. Algernon, there are distinct social possibilities in Miss Cardew's
I
profile.
don't give two pence about social possibilities.
Algernon!
Yep.
Never speak disrespectfully about society. Only people who can't get into it do that. Well, I suppose I must give my consent.
Thank you, Lady Bracknell.
Cecily, you may kiss me.
What do you
No. Is that tongue?
Thank you, Lady Bracknell.
And you may address me as Aunt Augusta for the future.
Oh my God! Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
I think the marriage should take place very soon. I must say I do not approve of long engagements. They give people the opportunity to get to know each other's character, and I don't think that is ever advised.
I beg your pardon for interrupting you, Lady Bracknell, but I am Miss Cardew's guardian, and she cannot marry without my consent. Now that consent I absolutely decline to give.
Upon what grounds? Algernon has nothing, but he looks everything. What more could you desire?
Well, I do not approve of his moral character. I suspect him of being untruthful.
Untruthful? My nephew Algernon, impossible.
Fear there can be no possible doubt about the matter. I decline to give my consent.
Come here, pretty child.
Oh.
Dry your hand off this time. Young ladies should always look look very stoic, I always say. Don't hold the mirth of youth within. It'll keep me going. How old are you, dear?
Oh, well, I'm 18, but I always admit to 20 at dinner parties.
You are quite right to make some slight alteration. 18, but admits to 20 at evening parties. Well, you will very soon be of age and free from the restraints of tutelage. Therefore, I don't think your guardian's consent is a matter of any importance.
No, I beg your pardon for interrupting you, Cam. Lady Bracknell.
I'm not doing it.
It is only fair to tell you that according to her grandfather's will, Miss Cardew does not come legally of age till she is 35.
That does not seem to me to be a grave objection. Atlanta society is full of women who have, of the highest birth, who have chosen to remain 35 for years. I don't see what, if there would be any reason we could not expect Miss Cardew to be even still more attractive at the age you just mentioned. There will be a great accumulation of property.
Algiers. Could you wait till I was 35?
I could. I mean, you know that I could.
Yes, I felt that instinctively. I couldn't wait that long. I can't wait more than 5 minutes for anybody. It makes me rather cross. I don't know, Mr. Moncrief.
Lady Bracknell, the matter is entirely in your own hands. Now, the moment you consent to my marriage with Gwendolyn, I will gladly allow your nephew to form an alliance with my lord.
You understand that what you suggest is quite impossible.
Well, then a passionate celibacy is all any of us can look forward to, it
Oh,
seems.
no, that is not the destiny I propose for Gwendolyn. Come along, child. We've already missed 5, if not 6 trains. And Miss Edmore might expose us to comment on the platform.
Everything is quite ready.
Oh, the Christian! Yes, is that not a bit premature, sir?
This must be how Moses parted the Red Sea. Why, both these gentlemen expressed a desire for immediate baptism. Come on, boys.
At their age, Algernon, I refuse to allow you to be baptized. I will not hear of such excesses.
I'm to understand that no Christians at all this afternoon.
Well, I don't think that as things are now, it will be of much practical use to any of us, Reverend Charleston.
I am grieved to hear such sentiments from you, Mr. Worthing. However, I will return to the church at once. Miss Prism has been waiting for me for the last hour and a half in the vestry.
Did I hear you mention a Miss Prism?
Yes, Lady Bracknell.
Dr. Johnston, if I may have a moment of your time, is this Miss Prism a female of somewhat metallic aspect?
No! You are fussing with my feng shui!
Feng Shui is not in the Bible.
Stay close, dear. I have a feeling you're going to have to repair that table again.
I'm on my way to see Lady
Well, yes, where was I? Is she a female of somewhat repellent aspect and somewhat loosely connected with education?
She is the most cultivated of ladies and the very picture of respectability.
It is obviously the same person. May I ask, what position does she hold in your household?
Miss Prism has been for the last 3 years Miss Cardew's esteemed governess and valued companion.
Despite what I hear about her, I must see her at once. Let her be sent for, Maradoodle.
She approaches. She's nigh.
I've been waiting
Prism! Come here, Prism. Prism! Where is that baby? 1 to 8 years ago, you left Mr. Bracknell's house inside for my a 3-volume novel of somewhat repellent sentimentality. But the baby was nowhere to be found. Presumed. Where is that baby?
I wish I did. The plain tells the case of these. On the morning of the day you mentioned, a day that will forever be branded in my memory. I prepared as usual to take the baby out in its perambulator. I had also with me a somewhat old but capacious handbag in which I had intended to place the manuscript of a work of fiction that I had written in my few unoccupied hours. Oh, in a moment of mental abstraction, which I can never forgive myself. I deposited the manuscript in the bassinet and then placed the baby in the handbag.
Well, where do you deposit that handbag?
Do not ask me, Mr. Worthy.
Miss Prism, this is a matter of no small importance to me. Now, I insist on knowing where you deposited the handbag that contained that infant.
I left it in the cloakroom of one of the larger railway stations in Atlanta.
Yes, but what railway station?
Peachtree.
The Brighton line.
It's a good line.
Nice.
I must retire my book for a moment. Gwendolyn, wait there for me.
If you are not too long, I will wait for you all my life.
Mr. Worthy.
What do you reckon this means, Lady Bracknell? I dare not even speculate, Dr. Chaucer. I need hardly tell you that the families of our high position, stranger coincidences are not supposed to occur. They are highly considered things. What is that racket? Arkansas. Some kind of hillbilly jamboree.
Is this the handbag, Miss Prism? Now, examine it carefully before you speak. The happiness more than what life depends on your answer.
She is not allowed to touch the furniture.
Well, it seems to be mine. Yes, here's the injury it received through the upsetting of a Main Street omnibus in younger and happier days. Here on the lining is a stain caused by the explosion of a temperance beverage, an incident that occurred at Savannah. And here on the lock are my initials. I had forgotten that in an extravagant mood I had them put there. The bag is undoubtedly mine. Would you like to see this? I'm delighted to have it restored, Miss Prism.
More is restored to you than that handbag. Now, I was the baby you placed in it.
You?
Yes, Mother.
Oh, Mr. Worthy, there is some error. I am unmarried.
Oh, I do not deny that is a serious blow, but after all, who can cast a stone against one who has suffered? Mother, I forgive you.
Mr. Worthy, there is the lady who can tell you who you really are.
Lady Bracken, well, I ain't seem inquisitive, but would you kindly inform me who I am?
You are the son and the parent micro baby of my poor sister, Mrs. Moncrief, and consequently Algernon's older brother.
Algy's elder brother. What? Then I have a brother after all. I knew I had a brother. I always said I had a brother. Algy! You young scoundrel. Now, you had better treat me with more respect in the future.
Nah.
You never hate me like a brother in all your life! Oh, there goes your glass.
And you broke my glass. You broke my hair. And you broke my glass.
Well, we are brothers after all. I have to break your shit.
All right. Well.
It's all breaking things like you're getting paid for.
Respect. Starting today.
Not the hell! Not the hell!
Do something.
Get out of here. What is your Christian name now that you become someone else?
Your decision on the subject of my name is irrevocable, I suppose.
I'll never change, except in my affection.
Oh, Gwendolyn, what a noble nature you have.
Then the matter had better be cleared up at once. When Miss Prism left me in the handbag, you had out in Christian already?
Every luxury that money could buy, including christenings, was lavished upon you by your fond and doting parents.
When I have been christened, how bad he's settled now. What name must I give him? Let me know the bust.
being the eldest, naturally you were christened after your father.
Yes, but what was my father's Christian name?
I cannot at this present moment recall what the general's name was, but I have no doubt he did have one. He was very eccentric, but only in later years.
Elgin. Elgin!
What? Whoa! Whoa! Hey!
Can you recollect our father's Christian name?
No. He died before I was even a year and a half old. We were never even on speaking terms.
But his name would appear in the honor list of the period, I suppose, Aunt Augusta.
I have no doubt that his name would appear in any military directory.
Yes, the honor list of the period are here. It's a lot for record should have been my constant study. Now, M. Generals. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Melham, Next Bomb, and Magna. My, we'll guess the names they have. Montby, Bigsby, Miles, yeah. Moncrief, Captain 1940. Lieutenant Colonel, Colonel. Yeah. General 1969. Christian names. Ernest John. Then my name is Ernest after all. I always said my name is Ernestine, Gwendolyn. Well, naturally it is Ernest.
Now I recall. The general's name was Earnest. I knew I had particular reason for disliking the name.
Oh! Ernest, my own Ernest! Well, from the first, you could have no other name.
Gwendolyn, it is a very terrible thing for a man to find out suddenly that all his life he has been speaking nothing but the truth. Can you ever forgive me?
I can, for I feel that you are sure to change.
My own one. Other hand, sweetie.
Oh,
You appear to be displaying signs of triviality.
On the contrary, Aunt Augusta, I now understand for the first time in my life the vital importance of being earnest.
Hold that hat on your I'll let you see yourselves out. I got some stuff to take care of.
For the Marriage Equality Act, we are having champagne and a champagne toast in the lounge. If you'd like to join us in celebration of sanctity of marriage, cheers.